Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another C3 Workplace webinar. I am Donna Miller, your presenter today, and I am president and founder of C3 Workplace. Now, before we get into the content for this webinar today, a little bit of housekeeping. You are all muted, and we are recording this webinar. If you have any questions, I like to make these as interactive as possible. Feel free to use either your Q&A window or your chat window to type in a question, and I will monitor those windows as we go along and do my best to address all of your questions. And also, by way of background and history, those of you may know about C3 Workplace, but let me take a moment to tell you a little bit about our organization. C3 Workplace, for the last 22 years, has had the great good fortune of helping probably close to 2,000 companies at this point start and grow. We love small business. We know small business. We believe in the power of small business, but we also know there's nothing small about small business. What we do is we help you to focus on driving revenue. We do that by providing back office support in many different forms, including virtual assistance, telephone answering, administrative support, marketing support, bookkeeping. We have all types of educational programs, and we rent office and meeting space currently in 2 locations, our original location in Montclair, New Jersey, and our location in Sparta, New Jersey. So we come to you today to talk about something that we see is more and more important for small businesses today. There are a host of fantastic solutions out there that you can use in your business that have become very affordable. All these different types of CRM systems, email solutions, financial solutions, and what we're finding here at C3 Workplace is it's become a little bit fragmented. So the language that we're talking about lately is about workflow for profit. We want to help you get all those systems talking to each other so that you can have a business that is fueling the life of your dreams. You know, TED Talk by Simon Sinek, it is 18 minutes long. It is about how great leaders inspire action. And what Simon Sinek tells us is that people do business with you because of why you do what you do, not necessarily what you do. So fundamental, CRM system, you need it. The other thing that I think is fundamental to beginning your targeted marketing plan is having a very clear mission, values, vision statement. Your mission is what you do, your values is what you stand for, and your vision is where you're going. You need to connect with people on an emotional level. Doing your mission, values, vision will help you to get some focus on who you can best connect with. Ultimately, your marketing decisions need to be based on data. Once you get clear on who you are, then you start to track who your clients, if you've been in business for a while, maybe it's your prospects, but you also need to be analyzing your clients as you go forward, because what I have seen happen with business owners is that we think our target market is one thing, but then when we start doing business and we are tracking our business as it happens, it turns out that our ideal client mix might not be what we thought it was. So let me repeat that for you because it's important. As you go forward in your marketing, once you've gotten clear on who you are, mission, values, vision, you need to track your target market so that you can, in black and white, on paper, analyze who your best target market is. C3 Workplace has a client analysis tool that we would be happy to share with you, just shoot me an email and I would be happy to send you that client analysis tool. It's a living document that actually comes out of the Earn More program, and it allows you to track the demographics, the psychographics, and perhaps the events that are driving clients to you and are becoming your ideal clients. Because we all know not every client is our ideal client. Not every paying client is our ideal client. So smart marketing is about knowing who you are and knowing who you want to connect with so that you gain focus. Now you start to develop messaging that has relevance, and all of your marketing has to be based on the WIFM methodology, and I imagine many of you know what this is, but WIFM stands for What's in it for me. It's not what's important to you, it's what's important to your target market. And that's also why I think it's important that you surround yourself with people who can help you get clarity on these issues. And those people shouldn't be telling you what you want to hear, they should be telling you what you need to hear. So you've gotten clear on who you are, you've gotten clear who your target market is. Now, I want you to swim where they swim. I want you to be a big fish in a small pond, because the truth is the riches are in the niches. And take that up another notch. When you get clear on who your target market is, I actually want you to spend your time marketing to the referral sources. Let me repeat that. You get clear on who you are, you get clear on who your target market is, now take it up a notch and spend the bulk of your time seeking to work with referral sources. Because if you spend the bulk of your time working on referral sources who can send you multiple clients, think about it. You're simply going to get a better return on the time that you invest. So how do you deliver value through content? How do you become a thought leader? I believe there's many different ways that you can do this, and certainly content marketing is something that I think any B2B and certainly B2C business owner needs to be doing today. The internet, clearly, social media have changed the way everyone does business. A call to action takes touch points. We need to be nurturing our leads, staying top of mind, and keeping them in our lead funnel at all times so that when the need for our services arises, we are top of mind and they can reach out to us. So I think there are many different ways that you can become a thought leader. Certainly, teaching what you know is being a thought leader. Perhaps if you're just starting out your business, you might want to get involved in your local chamber of commerce, volunteer, serve on committees, start to demonstrate your thought leadership out in the world. You can, once you've identified those target markets, LinkedIn, explore groups. There are conversations going on in those groups, but it's about, I believe, developing the messaging and the dialogue that will connect with your target market. And it's about behavior. Ultimately, you have to create, you could talk about marketing strategy, very important. I think for the solo and small business owner, it comes down to the cookbook of behavior. What is it that you're going to do on a day in and a day out basis to drive the results that you need? You can break it down to SMART goals. I still, at this point in my career, every Sunday night, and almost every Sunday night because nobody's perfect, each Sunday night I have a sheet also out of the Earn More program that allows me to make some notes for the week, and it allows me to make SMART goals for the week. And SMART goals, the S is specific, the M is measurable, the A is attainable, the R is relevant, is it relevant to my why, and they're time-bound. So your SMART goals are going to be based on a behavior mix that makes sense for your business. One of the challenges about being in business today is not only do you wear so many different hats, but there are so many different ways to market your business, and some of them are quote-unquote free. Now, here's the reality. Nothing is free. It requires your time, and you actually have a better chance of producing more money than you do of producing more time. So please do not undervalue your time as you create your behavior mix. So this pie happens to have three things. I believe that you can do 3 to 4 activities well, and that is also another part of finding focus, is there will be certain activities that align themselves both with your values and getting in front of the right target market. There is a principle called 80-20 rule, and it basically means that 20% of what you do is going to produce 80% of your results. 20% of your clients are going to produce 80% of your profits. So as the business owner, what I want you to do is I want you to spend time figuring out what is my 20%. What are the core activities that if I focus on these core activities, I will produce the best results. So everyone is going to have a different behavior mix, but I guarantee you, if you get strategic, get focused, stay focused, and I know how hard that is. We entrepreneurs are wonderfully creative. We've got passion, we've got drive. You know, who else, they say, who else would give up a 40-hour work week for an 80-hour work week? It's crazy, but we love what we do. But that also creates a little bit of ADD. Maybe that's just me, but I don't think I'm alone there. This focus has to be woven throughout everything you do. One of the ways I stay focused is I put everything on my calendar. So I do those SMART goals on Sunday. I map my time out on my calendar. I happen to be a visual person. I will be able to then see if I'm overcommitting myself. So you ultimately are going to have to create the behavior mix that works for you. So for me, one of the things I focus on is I focus on collaborative and strategic partnerships. Again, remember I talked about getting clear on who your ideal target market is and then ratcheting it up to referral sources. I teach and I speak. This is what I believe we should do. If we know something, we should teach it. We should help the other people along. I do serve on boards. I believe companies should be a force for good. I believe part of my core behaviors is mentoring and leading, raising up leaders. So I spend time not only within my own organization raising up leaders, but I also do that externally. And the other thing that is core to my behavior is getting on the phone and making phone calls. It's how I drive business. It's how I shake the tree. It's how I make it rain. One of the things that I'm doing when I'm making phone calls is I am pushing those leads through the funnel with the messaging, and I am following up on emails that I've sent. So one of the things I believe you should consider doing is email marketing as part of your marketing strategy. There is a 4,300% return on investment for email marketing. Yes, not 43, 4,300. That, to me, is the ROI that I want to live in. Talk about 20% of your activities producing 80% of your results. So here's where this whole commentary starts to come together. You've gotten clear on who you are. You've gotten clear on who your target market is. You need to get in front of them. You need to have a dialogue with them. You need to be giving them information that is valuable. Email marketing is, to me, a cornerstone of that process. And blogging. Now, some people hear blogging and they get a little bit overwhelmed and they don't think that they can keep up with it. So I, again, am only ever sharing what's worked for me. So what I do is typically I blog twice a month, and I write on things that are going on in the business. The reality is there's nothing new under the sun. I'm not telling anyone anything that's some earth-shattering new technique on how to grow your small business. I've been doing this for 22 years. There are fundamental things that I keep talking about because, first of all, I need to hear it and my clients need to hear it, and because, guess what? It works. So when you are blogging, I recommend part of your marketing strategy be to, at the beginning of the year, frame out a little bit of a content calendar. There are going to be points in your business where certain messaging is going to be relevant. For instance, we do bookkeeping services. So towards the end of the year and the early new year, we're going to be talking about bookkeeping. It's the right time to do it. Again, 20% of your results, 20% of your efforts, getting 80% of your results. Timing. So have a content calendar. In the summer, here we are. We're talking about how do you spend time on the beach instead of in your office. So have a content calendar. And if event marketing is part of what you do, maybe your blog's tied into your events. We sometimes do that. So here's how we work our email and our content marketing and our lead nurturing. We generate a blog. We create an email around that blog. Email now needs to be a very simple format. When you create your email, we use Constant Contact. We are a Constant Contact reseller. We're happy to get you a free trial on that. But it has to be a simple format. I believe that one-column formats are what work the best now. I also believe that no more than 3 click-throughs on that email or people will get overwhelmed. Again, remember how much information is coming at people. You have to keep this as simple as possible. So we write the blog, we create an email around it. So we've got the blog, we're typically featuring an event, and we have a third something that we're talking about. We built a pretty good email list, and we have a solid open and click-through rate because we are giving people relevant content because we're talking to the right people and because we're doing permission marketing. So first of all, the blog goes into the email, we send out the email. Then we have a schedule of taking that same content, and again, I'm big on using the same content for multiple purposes, repurposing that content, posting it across different platforms. Again, always looking at leveraging every little thing you're doing. If you can leverage every little thing you do, 10%, 15%, 20%, you get big results. So, blog goes in the email on Tuesday, hypothetically. Wednesday, we take that same blog and we post it on LinkedIn. Thursday, we go to LinkedIn groups. Friday, we go to Facebook. Friday afternoon, or Monday, we go to Facebook groups. So literally, you're taking that same piece of content and you're posting it among multiple platforms. Of course, we're on Twitter, and we have some blog aggregators that we post that we get some great feedback on as well. So you take that one piece of content, you use it in your email, and then you post it across multiple platforms. What does that do? That gets your name in front of your audience over the course of a week or 2 weeks with one blog. And now, that's why I do it twice a month. So the first thing I also do, I talk about that I make phone calls as part of driving leads through my lead funnel. So here's how ours works. We basically, here's our email marketing, and then we might push someone through and we're inviting them to a webinar, and then maybe we're going to invite them to a lunch and learn, and now we're going to have some sort of proposal. So you see what I mean by pushing your people through your lead funnel? The reality is at every point in this lead funnel, we need to be saying something different. Now, so when I send an email, one of the things I schedule on my calendar is to look at those click-throughs and to make phone calls. I can look at who's clicking through. I can compare that to what's in my CRM system. And now I call up Joe. Hey, Joe, it's Donna from C3 Workplace. We haven't talked in a while. I thought I would check in and see how things are going and if there's any way I can help. More often than not, Joe says, wow, I was just thinking of you. So I am not psychic. I simply know when the right time to do this is. So again, if every little thing you do just a little bit better, you will get exponentially better results. So using the email, using the blog for multiple purposes, calling your click-throughs. The other thing that many people don't know about Constant Contact is Constant Contact has an automated messaging system. Okay? Let me repeat that. You might have heard of Infusionsoft. Infusionsoft is a very robust lead nurturing system that works very well. No, the presentation is not over. I don't know why your connection dropped, but it will be recorded. So Infusionsoft is a very robust lead nurturing solution. It's a great solution for a lot of people, but it does require a fair investment of time and dollars to get it to do what you want it to do. Constant Contact has this nice little piece that is called an automated response system where you can write a number of email messages to push people through this lead. So in other words, someone comes and tours an office at C3 Workplace. Instead of making follow-up call, follow-up call, follow-up call, because sometimes that's not a great use of your time, we can create a series of messages that go out to that prospect at predestined time that say things that we know are typically relevant to that situation. That's a great Constant Contact feature that I don't think a lot of people use. And again, we are Constant Contact authorized reps and would be happy to tell you more about that. But the reality is, from your email marketing and from pushing leads through that lead funnel, you can then create subsets and push people through and talk to them in a way that is most relevant for where they are in your lead funnel process, because ultimately at the end of the day, it's all coming down to trying to convert them to clients. And we all know that people do business with people they like, know, and trust. This process of lead nurturing is how you can accelerate the know, like, trust process. So here's the reality. This next slide, hang on, is what I like to refer to as the simplest one-page business plan there is. I believe we always need to work with the end in mind. So the end in this case is actually, what do I want to make? What do I need to make? What is my lifestyle? What do I want to do? And then we have to figure out what our expenses are, and then of course, what sales do I need to cover my expenses? But this up here is where you need to live. What are the behaviors that you are going to do on a regular basis that will drive proposals, that will lead to the revenue that you need? Figuring out what goes in those 4 boxes is something that is not a one-time event. It's something that you have to do on a regular basis, revisit, and tweak. I believe email marketing is probably part of what you should be doing, and it's certainly how we keep our leads flowing. It's how we keep our audience engaged. It's how we identify new opportunities. So I'm running out of time. It always amazes me how quickly the time goes when we do these webinars. So what I want to let you know is that this is a bit of a fire hose into information. We will be hosting a lunch and learn with a more hands-on interactive session, how we push our leads to our lead funnel. If you are interested in registering for that event, you can go to the C3 Workplace website. We've provided a code there for you so that you, as a webinar participant, can get complimentary admission to that lunch and learn. And as always, I thank you for being part of the C3 community. I'm one of those insanely blessed individuals that truly loves what I do, loves who I do it with. All of you are my why. I believe in the power of small business. I believe that we can change the world. I believe by being a force for good, by modeling collaboration, that we will all grow our businesses, and that success will ultimately spill into our communities. So thank you so much for joining me today for our Workflow for Profit webinar series. And I hope to see you at the Lunch and Learn. And again, I'm sorry the time flew by. If I missed your question, if you have another question, my email is on the screen. I am always happy to address questions and help you grow your business. So again, Donna Miller here, signing off, saying thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day, everyone.